Dark Souls is now 10 years old, and the series and its community is still staying strong, with community making mods, finding new glitches, and new records being broken every day. It's no wonder that Dark Souls is made a staple as a game in a high fantasy environment. However, in this video, I'm going to be taking on the age-old question of can you beat Dark Souls Remaster with only the Thief starting class? Let's get into it. And we're starting right now. Okay, so we're first going to start with the Thief starting class. Of course, I'm going to name it 2B because I'm using the 2B mod. That replaces the Thief armor with 2B. So let's get off to the Undead Asylum. Just run through like normal. However, we're going to use the fire bombs to quickly clean up and sweep the Asylum demon. So it's going to be a pretty easy first start. No, really, this boss fight's really easy. Let's get on with it. We're going to pick up the target shield and the bandit's knife, which are going to be the only two weapons I'm really going to be using throughout this whole run. And we're going to make our way off to Firelink Shrine with the Velka Crow. Now I do go ahead and level up off screen, but we're going to run down and make a quick trip to the catacombs first because we want to kill Pinwheel. And the one really important aspect of the bandit's knife is the fact that the bandit's knife allows for easy proc with bleed and has some massive critical hits. So we're just going to drop down here and we're going to make another drop again so we can summon Paladin Leroy. Of course I'm human so I can summon him, which I probably should have mentioned earlier if you're following along. And then I just wait on the sledge while Leroy kills everything else, and then we're off to the boss. Pinwheel is pretty much a joke if we decide to fight him with Paladin Leroy at our sides. So yeah, I just kill all of the clones, and then Paladin Leroy takes care of the rest. Once he is defeated, we have the right kindling, and I bone out. Back to Firelink Shrine. Now before we leave and go to the Undead Burg, I decided to go and pick up a few goodies that Petrus was hiding from us in a chest inside of Firelink Shrine. Now one thing that you're going to notice, I'm going to be doing a lot of parrying against enemies that I can parry, since parries and backstabs and ripostes are kind of the only real way to use this build. Either that or praying I can proc the bleed. We go over to the merchant and we buy the bottomless box because we're going to need that for later. I also go ahead and buy some golden pine resin and parrying and riposting all day long. Seriously, this Black Knight took forever to kill. He wouldn't stop turtling. Now off to the boss. The Taurus Demon is pretty easy. I just buff with some gold pine resin. We run back to the top and we do a plunging attack. And yeah, he actually did give me a bit of trouble, but somehow I managed to kill him. Which shouldn't have been that hard, but it was for some reason. So now we're going to talk to Solaire so I can get the white soapstone. We have him for a summon. The Hellkite helps kill a lot of enemies so we can get some extra souls. And then we're off to the Undead Parish. Run through Undead Parish as usual. Go to Andre. I talk to Andre and I upgrade my bandit's knife. There's a lot of enemies so I kind of just stay away from them, but I do eventually kill them. Now off to the Bell Gargoyles. Yes, I do summon Solaire because Solaire is the only real summon I can do, or else this would take 20 years and come on, we just don't have that time. So the first spell is rung and now we can go off to Blighttown. So before we go off to Blighttown, we can of course kick Lautrec off of the cliff. Just say goodbye to him because we want his Fap ring, my personal favorite. We're going to pick that up for some extra stamina boost, health boost, and of course equipment load boost. I also give the Soul of a Firekeeper to Dingy, who is going to reinforce my flask to make it heal more health. Then we go down to Blighttown. Blighttown is pretty meh, but now the one really important part is I am a human and I am staying on this ledge so I don't aggro the mosquitoes or have to deal with the poison. And Mildred's pretty easy to clean up with a few criticals and bleed procced. I make quick work of her. down to Quelaag's domain because we have to kill Quelaag. So of course we're going to summon Mildred and we're going to get to the battle now. The battle is pretty annoying because I have very low health. I believe like 890. That's not a lot of health at all. If she ever were to do a AoE explosion, I would be dead in one hit even if I had all my health. So it's very important that I do keep my distance and take jabs every now and then and let Mildred really handle it. Then we ring the second bell and we make our way back to Firelink Shrine, where now that I have the Quelaag soul in my possession, we can do the Frampt dupe glitch. Yay. Now I have a whole video on the Frampt dupe glitch, and I'm going to put it up on the screen and in the description below so you guys can check it out after this video. It's one of my most popular videos, so you should definitely go and check it out after this video. So basically I decided to go and do the glitch, which I haven't done in a while, so of course I suck at it. But now we're going to make our way down to the depths, but first we have to go and kill a lot of thieves to get there. And then I try to attempt to do the black firebomb over gate cheese for the Capra Demon, but it turns out the Capra Demon doesn't really need it. The dogs are really annoying, so once I get the dogs out of the way, the rest of the boss battle is pretty annoying, but it's nothing that I cannot handle. Especially since I don't decide to get any more of the Firekeeper souls to upgrade my flask. I'm kind of stuck healing with mediocre health, but basically we take him down. We go to the depths. And I'm just ganked so bad I have to get the hell out of here with no flasks left. I'm surprised I even survived, but thankfully I could heal with humanities, so I was able to pull through and get the large ember that we need to get a +10 weapon. So I go back to Andre and I upgrade actually some armor and my target shield as well. And then off to Sen's Funhouse. Sen's Funhouse is pretty meh. It's just a normal run through Sen's, and there isn't really too much interesting here. But of course I have to do the speedrun strat of quitting out and going back in to reload the boulder so I don't get hit by it. And then the rest of the run is pretty much just running up to the Iron Golem where I summon Iron Tarkus. What, you think I'm not going to take summons? This would literally take 20 years if I didn't. And Tarkus really takes forever to swing, but we do down the giant Iron Golem within a whopping 5 minutes, so that was nice. Then we get abducted by, what are they, gargoyles? And then we go to the Anor Londo bonfire. We don't kill the girl yet. And then we parry and riposte our way through the rafters. It's really the only easy way to go through it. And then we turn the giant spin dial thingy and run up to go and face off against the Anor Londo archers, which can be cheesed pretty easily by making the guy fall off because he's an idiot. Then we can go to the bonfire, say hi to Solaire, and continue on our merry way to the blacksmith to upgrade and also ascend. And also we can get a lot of large titanites, so with the glitch we were able to basically pull through. Now fortunately, in order to do the Ornstein Smo AI disable glitch, I need to be able to get these two giants out of my way, and it took me absolutely forever. But once I eventually do get done, since thankfully they can be bleed procted, it's time to do the glitch where I parry and riposte the Silver Knight, and I basically do kind of like a Sen's gate skip, but not really, where I parry, I go into the fog gate, activate the boss, and then I go out of the fog gate, and then I run all the way back to the bonfire, which resets the boss, I guess, to disable the AI, and then we go back in and oh, why if you look at that, Smo and Ornstein are both stuck. That's right, their AI is disabled, so basically I can just go at Ornstein all I want, since fighting him is going to be a pain if I decide to do him instead of Smo. And then we start the battle with Snorlax evolving into Pikachu, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Thankfully Smo's bleed can easily be procced, and I get the Lord Vessel. After placing the Lord Vessel, that triggers the 4 bosses with the bequeathed souls, and we can face off against them. However, first I need to get out of Crest of Artorias and go down into the forest, where we go talk to Elvina, join the Covenant, and kick off the ninja to get the Dark Woodgrain Ring, so we could do some sick ninja flips for some more iframes. But unfortunately I get ganked and I have to run quite a bit before I can actually get anywhere, and Shiva really puts up a fight, but in the end Grimchan just has it. I reload my game and I get the Dark Wood Grain Ring and we're off to kill Seath. Trust me, I don't want to watch a dog die either, but it has to be done. We gotta beat this game with only the Seath class, and this is unfortunately the only way. But after the boss fight, we get the Hornet Ring, which is going to help increase our critical attacks, which is really good, since of course I'm going to be relying off that for a while. Then we go off to New Londo Ruin. I pick up another Firekeeper soul, and then I make my way over and battle through a bunch of ghosts using my Translucent Curse. Yes, there's a lot of them, but eventually we get the key to the seals, and once I get the key to the seals, I open up the door and flush out the rest of the flooding water to New Londo's ruins. So now we make our way to the dry land, and I can finally go and because we have the Covenant of Artorias, we can now traverse the abyss and fight the 4 kings. Now there isn't really too much else in preparation besides having humanity at hands, since my SS flasks are only 2 and this is a DPS test. And I decided not to clip this at all and to instead speed this up because this boss fight took absolutely forever, somehow though, and I don't even remember. And unfortunately, their bleed doesn't proc, so, however, if you keep at it, you will get it just like I did, because thankfully, if the hilt hits you, it doesn't do as much damage as the blade when the 4 kings swing. They did get me in a few of the grabbing attacks and blowing me up, but again, it's nothing that we cannot handle. Especially since even if I run out of SS Flask, I always have the humanity to back up to, as long as I can get a heal in. Overall, the boss fight takes me a whopping 7 minutes, and there were multiple kings on the screen at one time, which, yes, stressful, but I was able to pull through. And yeah, the 4 kings go down. Now we're going back to Blighttown and we're going to the Demon Ruins because we need to kill Ceaseless Discharge. So we steal his bling, he gets pissed, and we run past him. If you know how this boss battle goes, because my foot got clipped off, we just go and kill him. And then we run to Kirk. So I kill him, we go to the Fire Sage Demon, which is basically the Asylum Demon but with explosives. However, thankfully we can proc its bleed, making the fight go a little bit faster. And then it's basically just a jam and flow. Now the Centipede Demon isn't that bad. I think that Solaire was a mistake to bring because he was really just annoying keeping the boss in the lava. Couldn't really get around too much. Had to speed up the footage obviously. This boss fight took me around 7 minutes as well. And it was basically just Solaire getting his ass pummeled and me just stabbing the thing 1,000 times. Now we get the orange shard ring so we don't take as much damage to the lava and we can finally traverse and make our way over to Lost Izalith. And in Lost Izalith, we meet a friendly neighborhood pyromancer, and Knight Kirk invades us once again. Another parry riposte will pin his ass to the ground. And 2-1, cool. Now off to the Bed of Chaos. Oh ho, you thought we were playing a Dark Souls game? No, this is Super Mario. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of parkour involved in. I get lucky enough to not have to die once during this fight, so yay me! But for real, this boss fight can be a real pain in the ass, but I really just got lucky in the end. And I make it to the end, kill the bug, and we got another boss down and another soul. One more to... So now with 2 more to go, we can finally kill this Firekeeper here. I don't even remember her name. But we're just going to kill her off really quickly and get her soul. I know it also deactivates the bonfire, but we're just going to keep heading up towards Seath the Scaleless in the Duke's archives. Unfortunately for me, I forgot that this Crystal Knight appeared. I get a good parry riposte off, however he decides to be fun to parry my ass 1,000 times as well. Needless to say, I was very annoyed by it, and to make matters worse, my weapon ends up almost becoming broken, so I have to actually go and repair it, and since I don't have any repair powder on me, it really doesn't help, so I have to go back to Andre and repair my weapons and buy the smith and repair box. But you know, since we're here, why not get the very large ember? I make my way down to New Londo ruins to pick up the very large ember, which we are going to give to Andre, and I'm going to be able to upgrade that to make it a plus 15 weapon. Now making my way back to the Duke's archives, it's finally time to go and fight Seath. It doesn't really matter up to this point, but just don't use Anor because you will get cursed like I did. And that's the one thing I didn't want to happen, so yay me. So finally making a prison escape, I'm able to grab the key, turn off the horns, and make my way out of the library. Then the real nightmare begins, because this area is just absolutely a nightmare for me. Since I don't decide to go and buy some purging stones earlier, I decide to die literally like 7 times making my way through this place. And having to deal with sorcerers and crystal knight barrages, it's just not a fun time. It was very painful. So I just really clipped a lot of it out. And eventually I uncover the secret library part. The secret library portion, I activate the bonfire and then I go back to buy some purging stones. Once I have my curse lifted, I'm able to go into the pretty crystal cave, which is really beautiful. And now we're gonna go and face off against Seath, this time for real, one-on-one, mano a mano. Seath the Scaleless this time is finally fair because we now have discovered his weakness, which just takes one hit of literally anything to break his crystal. And yes, I'm going to speed this one up as well, because since Seath's bleed doesn't proc, this boss fight literally just took forever. But thankfully it wasn't that much trouble. I was expecting Seath to really just flail his tentacles around and just keep slamming on me, but he didn't, so it was a very painless time. No, really, I know it's been about a minute, but I didn't know what else to say. There really isn't too much except just R1 spam him and get out of the way when he doesn't attack. I know I'm just speaking natural Dark Souls sense, but really this boss fight wasn't that hard. It was just really long. Because again, my weapon is a starting class weapon. Not that that means anything. So now we're gonna go to our... So now it is spooky month, and we're gonna go and say hi to spooky scary skeletons because we're going to the Tomb of the Giants. It is pretty dark down here, and since I don't have the Sunlight Maggot or a Skull Lantern yet, or the Cast Light spell, I kind of have to find my way around here through the Prism Stones on the ground. And the Prism Stones guide my way to Patches, and I find the bonfire. Now I'm gonna say hollow because I don't want Paladin Leroy to come and smash my ass, but instead we're gonna go down the route and make our way to Gravelord Nito. And this boss fight is really annoying. Not just because there's a bunch of spooky scary skeletons around, but also because the only place I actually hurt Nito is his front when I'm using the bandit's knife. And nothing wants to let up on me, and I run out of Estus really fast, so I'm kind of stuck just using humanity and having to go away first, which really does make this fight a lot longer. There isn't too much else that I can really say except the skeletons can make my bleed go up as well, and Nito is immune to bleed, so yeah, it's a very long battle, unfortunately. But I endured through it and we are able to continue. It just took a very, very long time. Nito helps me as well because he does a crazy strong AoE that literally blasts all the skeletons' asses off the ground and out of existence, which really helps my cause. But the Gravelord goes down, and that's another soul down. We have all of them now, and now it is finally time to go and face off against the Lord of Cinder. Back to Firelink Shrine I go, and to the altar. Man, I don't know what it is about doors opening, but they always look so majestic and mesmerizing when it happens. And this door is no different. So to the Kiln of the First Flame we go. There's a lot of Black Knights here, which is really the key aspect we want to keep in mind because they drop Titanite chunks, which makes it easy to farm. So once I farmed enough, I decided to upgrade my weapon to plus 15. Well, actually no, plus 14 because I didn't get a Titanite slab, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be relying off parrying riposte for Gwen anyways. So make sure to have that Hornet Ring equipped. And yes, I do speed this up. This battle wasn't as long as the others since again, parrying riposte is the only thing we're doing and Gwen doesn't have as much health as the others. So it's really just a test of, are you a parry god? Which unfortunately I'm very rusty, so I kind of just have to go through it. But eventually, after enduring through all of the tedious pain of using a bandit's knife through the whole game, I finally parry riposte and kill Gwen, the Lord of Cinder. And with needless to say, can you beat Dark Souls Remastered with only the Thief starting class? Yes, you can use only the equipment from the Thief starting class and beat the game. Thank you all so much for watching till the end, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something new. If you did, do be sure to subscribe for some more Souls content in the future, and make sure to leave a like on the video because it helps my channel out. And don't you dare forget to hit that notification bell. See ya.